Oh yes, it couldn't be more live than this. Sorry about the delay, but here we are. Wow, what a pleasure. ALTBAYS Show brought to you by ALTBAYS.nz. ALTBAYS.nz is a media support company based in Whitianga, and they do amazing digital marketing, video production services, social media management. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to waste time because we have these amazing two ladies here, and it's the time to have the best chat of our lives. I have Brett Soanes here with me, and also, can we open the cameras for everybody to see? We have SAPPHIRA AMOUR and Sugar SPANX here with us at the ALTBAYS studio. So, how are you ladies?
Good.
Good. Ready to go.
Getting very excited.
Me too. Thanks for coming. That's so cool.
I haven't come yet, but maybe later.
Okay. Oh, there's always time, eh? Slow is good, isn't it?
I've got nothing else to do until tonight.
Great. Do you like my outfit?
You're very sexy.
Yeah?
Yes, I think you're hot.
Oh, thank you very much. We can do a little bit of ASMR too. Yeah, I will. Oh, for sure. Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, looking forward to our show tonight in Whitianga.
Yeah, we can't wait. It'll be our first show in Whitianga, so...
And our first show for a very long time with Derona. We've been stuck at home with nothing to do. We cannot take our clothes off for people. It's been so hard.
How long has that been? What? Sorry, too long?
Yeah, too long.
Yeah, dang.
I think we had a show, we managed to squeeze in a little one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes we manage to squeeze in a little one. We prefer it
No
when
big
it's
ones.
much bigger.
Yeah.
Yes, much
We like it big.
bigger.
We like it.
We like a good party. But yeah, we had one at Nevara, I think maybe about the middle of last year.
Yeah, that was our
In
last
between
one.
the lockdowns, we were able to have a show, and that was good. But not the big crowd that we usually like. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So I like a lot of appreciation when I get my boobies out.
Right. And we were asking about, you were asking about the French in the room. So are you French?
Oh, SAPPHIRA AMOUR.
Of course you are.
Really?
Unless you've been practicing that accent for a long time, right?
Ah, what do you mean practice?
It's totally natural.
It's so natural.
I am shocked and horrified that you should cast nasturtiums on my character.
Sorry. Some people think that I'm French. Do you think I have a little bit of a French accent or not really?
Pity.
Petit pou?
It's good.
I can do my best. We can practice this
We
later
can
on.
practice. You can talk French to me anytime you like.
I will. I will. It's a good day to learn, isn't it? All right, so there was a long drive to Whitianga this morning, is that right?
Yes.
Where were you coming from? Where did you come from?
So SAPPHIRA came from Ragland and I came from Hamilton.
Shout out.
Shout out to Megan.
The best left-hand curl in the Southern Hemisphere.
Right. Do you surf?
No,
She just watches them.
I can curl my tongue, that's about it. But
That's
that's
good.
where my talents end, I'm afraid. Although, you know, I've been told I'm feeling good in water.
Yeah? Do you feel good in the water, Brett?
I'm blushing.
How can we tell there's so much man bush?
I know, right? So, SAPPHIRA, I'll just ask you to come a little bit closer to the mic.
A little bit closer.
Yeah. Brett can
can
give
do
you,
this.
Brett can give you a hand and adjust that.
If Brett gives me a hint, we won't be able
Brett,
to
can you,
put that
can you
on the
bring
camera.
her mic stand a little bit higher? Thank you.
Is that better?
That's fantastic.
Magnifique.
It's the
It's drooping.
Please,
There you
don't
go.
get
It's at-
droopy with me.
it's at its
alright?
limit.
That's good.
I
That's
think.
good. So, Sugar, before I forget, okay, so tonight from 7, is that correct? 7 p.m. or 7:30, I think?
7:30 is when showtime starts
7:30 at the Monkey Theatre.
at the Monkey Theatre.
Yes. So if you don't have tickets yet, you're missing out. Get your tickets now.
You might have already missed out.
Probably, eh? It must have
I
sold out
think,
by
I think
now.
we're down to two.
Yeah, I think-
Two yesterday.
Ooh, so be
Yeah.
quick. Give it a go. Tell us a little bit about the show. What should we expect?
So I think a lot of people, when they think of burlesque, they think of the movie Burlesque, which is not 100% accurate.
Right.
So there's two different styles of burlesque, neo and classic, and the neo burlesque is the weird, wild and wonderful of pretty much anything goes, which you will definitely see tonight, and the classic burlesque is the pretty sort of look at me prancing around the stage. So we've got a mix of all that tonight, along with some audience games, because we do love to get the audience involved. Yes, so if you do have tickets tonight, be prepared, because you might get hauled up on stage. Or consensual.
If you consent, because consent is sexy. Yes.
Consent is sexy.
Consent is
Of
sexy.
course.
Yes.
Well, Brett and I will be there, so
So can we take this as your consent for later?
yeah.
Can
I'm
we
sure
have like blanket consent?
Blanket consent.
Careful.
We work that out. We'll sign the contract.
Right.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Yeah, releases. Get some releases.
Sign the waiver.
And how did you get into the burlesque performance? Take us through the journey.
I sort of fell into it by accident. I was managing bands, and then from there kind of got a little bit sick of musicians. No offence if anyone's watching who's a musician.
I hate music.
What?
I'm joking.
And I decided from there I liked all the event management side of things, and I was living in Auckland at the time, saw a gap in the market with the burlesque scene, and just kind of went, I'm going to do that, and put together a show. And at the time I didn't know many people in the burlesque community there, but managed to find some performers, and then one of the performers pulled out at the last minute, and I didn't have anyone to replace them, and I just sort of went, I'll give it a whirl. I've done a bit of theatre in the past, so I was like, I'll have a crack, and nearly 10 years later, here I am.
10 years. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you run the rock and roll circus, is that correct?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Are there other performances, or it's a burlesque show part of the rock and roll circus, or you also manage other performers?
So I just put together the shows and then book the performers. So we have some performers who are with us all the time. Our lovely MC here, who has a few characters that she shares with us on her show journeys.
I'm a girl with personality.
Oh,
Lots and lots of personalities.
we can tell. We can tell. What about you, Saphira? How was your thing with burlesque shows?
I also fell into burlesque by accident. I was taking belly dance classes, and my belly dance teacher rang me, and she says, I've booked us to do burlesque classes. And I went, okay. And so we went along, and Sharon was actually my tutor.
Yeah.
And
cool.
my belly dance teacher stopped going to burlesque, and I finished the course, and then I booked for another, and then I booked for another,
And another.
and another, and so here I am.
This is a great story. It's a good, cool journey. So how many girls are we seeing tonight in the show?
5. Yeah, I should know that off by heart, shouldn't I? 5. We usually run with 6, but just because it was out of town and COVID, we did scale it back just a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, because it's tricky times.
Tricky times. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does it like? How is it at the moment? Like, are you booking small venues? Yeah, just seeing
so
what's possible.
we have pretty much our home away from home in Hamilton, Navara Lounge. So we do all of our shows out of there. And we were doing fringe festivals, and like the Hamilton Gardens Arts Festival, we've done that in the past.
Beach hop.
Beach Hop,
Beach
yeah,
Hop.
that's another one that we were doing frequently. But when COVID came, it kind of all grinded to a halt. And yeah, we've just been managing to squeeze in shows at Navara Lounge. We've been really lucky with the timing through lockdowns and stuff. We've had most of our shows go ahead, but we did have to cancel one last year, which was pretty gutting. Yeah, but we're back at it again.
So is
glad.
this a R18 show?
Absolutely.
It is. Perfect.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. So I don't know if I bring my kids, or, okay, probably not.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
We have done the burlesque in the daytime, but it's not so good. No.
It's definitely more a nighttime venture.
I was joking about the
Especially
kids, but I was wondering if
after-
you did like R16 or something like that. Or
No,
We've
R18.
done PG shows and general audience shows, but it's,
a little more
Not
boring.
quite the
we
same.
have to,
Yeah.
but it's not our first love.
Right. I understand. So
No boobies.
No,
Yeah, no boobies.
okay. Free the boobies, eh? Like, come on, people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's evolve society. Exactly. Come on. What are the misconceptions with burlesque performances?
Where to start? I think the first one is people say, "Oh, you are a classy stripper."
Right.
We are not classy strippers. We're strippers. The difference between a burlesque dancer and a club stripper is our costumes cost a whole lot more, and we get paid a whole lot less.
And the motivation's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
It's definitely not for a living.
Right.
yeah.
It's because we like to get our tits out.
I worked at a place that has massage, and I remember a lot of clients thinking that there would be some sort of sex, like some kind of sexual service or something like that.
So did you?
I was behind the bar.
Oh, you're behind the bar.
I was actually king.
Did you notice his voice dropped about 2 octaves?
Well, you know.
He
lying?
went from I worked at the massage parlor to
Well, you got the musician ear, Sapphira. We're gonna have to chat after this show. Eh?
No.
So-
I can just pick up embarrassment from a mile away because it is my job to manipulate and to make the most of it, and is my role as MC, of course.
Sorry, Leo. So you may as well tell the truth now.
She's doing a great job. So my question was like, do you face that sometimes? People thinking that the show is about something else? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of misconceptions about what goes on at a burlesque show. It's getting a lot better.
I have had no unwanted advances, none whatsoever. I would like to know where to complain. But no, seriously, it's we do not appreciate people touching unless you're invited.
Fantastic.
We will, on occasion, me in particular, will invite people to touch, but not in general. Usually, we like people to show their appreciation with the applause and cheers, but not show us your tits.
Yeah, no lewd comments allowed.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we
That's good.
keep it classy.
Keep the respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the thing with like empowering women, like to be themselves, to dance. I like that, and I think that's a big thing.
Yeah.
I think as an older and bigger performer as well, I find that when I watch a woman on stage doing burlesque, the thing I come away with after I have watched her is the look of joy on her face. I do not remember her size. I do not remember her weight. I do not remember how old she is. I remember none of that, just the look of pure joy that she has when she is on stage performing and entertaining the audience, which is what it's all about.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's extremely empowering for a woman of all ages, sizes. I performed at the start of 2020 at a burlesque show in Sydney during the Pride Festival, and it was for larger women, and there was we had a dancer. The headliner was Rola Rodette from Atlanta in Georgia, and just amazing watching these performers, and it was like a weight is lifted because up there they are just pure joy. I cannot explain it better. It's just pure joy that radiates from their faces, and you see the audience respond to that, to the enjoyment that the performer is having, rather than any expectation of what they're going to see, or whether it be sexual. Or burlesque can be so many things. It can tell stories, it can be political, it can be funny, it can be thought-provoking, but the bottom line, what underlies it all, is the enjoyment that the performer has for bringing their story to the audience and the audience appreciation back.
Yeah.
And that's what keeps me doing it. That, and it's opened doors for me all over the world. I performed in in Prague at the Bohemian Burlesque Festival back in 2019. I was very lucky that my performer friends came together. We put on a benefit show, and I was able to travel to the Czech Republic to represent New Zealand on an international stage for the first time. And, you know, like they ticked off one of my bucket list boxes. But it's just the sense of community. I mean, there are men that do burlesque too.
Yeah.
Please.
Boylesque.
There are
I was
burlesque.
about to ask that.
Yes.
So what's
Is
the
that
thing
what
with
it's called? Sorry.
male performers?
There are
Yeah.
male
Yes.
performers, and
I
not
like it.
necessarily in drag. Some,
Yeah.
some,
There you go.
some are in drag. Some you get drag kings, drag queens. You get gender bending. You
Sorry,
get
what's a drag king?
a drag king is a like a cishet female who dresses as a man.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I
that
do
makes sense.
those
Yep.
kind of acts as well.
Sugar has a persona who is Aussie bloke, and he is an Australian man with all the
Blokey,
stereotypes
hairy man.
that go along
Yeah.
with that. So, but there are beautiful heterosexual males who perform burlesque. There are queer males who perform burlesque. There are non-binary. It's open and it's very fluid and it's just wonderful.
Anything goes.
It
And
is.
anything
It
is
It's how
welcome.
you express yourself on stage, and I think Sugar, you can confirm or deny that the basis of burlesque is you have to remove one item.
Yeah. You don't have to take it all off. You can. It's up to you.
You can remove
what
one glove.
Yeah. It's
You
entirely
can
up to
take
the
off your
performer.
sunglasses. If you can turn taking off your sunglasses into a 3, 4, 5 minute act, that can be your act.
Fantastic. I love that.
Très magnifique.
Très magnifique. Oh,
Yeah, you
oui.
you have pretty much total control over, you know, how you costume yourself, how you choreograph things, and like
The
Sapphira
persona
said,
that you present, it's all completely autonomous. You have control over that completely.
So do you usually have like a theme or a story? Like I've never been to a burlesque show before.
yeah.
So yeah.
It's up to a treat tonight,
oh,
eh?
hold on to your undies.
but I won't wear any. But do you
If you'd like to bring some to throw at me, I will not. I will not.
Oh, I don't
I'll
know.
take them home.
Yeah.
they've all got
Some, not
holes in,
one.
they've all got holes in them.
And that's how you put them on, darling.
More holes than it's supposed to have.
Right.
But like, so do you have like is it like a drama, like a play kind of thing, or
It
is
can
it or just a? Oh, it can be whatever then, yeah.
It can be.
Or just
It
a pure performance of
It
just.
can be like Neo in particular. Neo is a new burlesque. Usually has a story. Whether that story can be a personality or something that's happening to somebody one day, or
Political statement.
a political
or-
statement. We've seen some very powerful burlesque dancers do personify their cancer journey, or there can be a reflection of how they feel about society or their political views. Or there was a very entertaining burlesque at the New Zealand Burlesque Festival a couple of years ago, which was all about periods. You know, it can be a lot of
riveting.
things.
Great.
It was amazing, amazing. So it can be a lot of things.
So it comes from, it's like a Victorian era thing, right? The burlesque when it started.
Yeah,
Is-
Victorian burlesque was sort of the start, but burlesque comes from an Italian word, burlesco, which is like the parody, the humour.
Yeah, it was originally in like, especially in America, in the sideshows where they would have the term escapes me, but they do the slapstick and what have you. But they wanted to bring in the crowd, so they wanted the girls to get their boobies out.
Yeah, show
So
some skin.
it was a combination. But said there was a whole period where women could have their boobies out, but they had to pose. They could not move. They could not be suggestive. So there is a whole form of burlesque which just involves posing and then moving and posing.
So yeah, it was like the late 17th century when it sort of
It's
came
been
about,
around
and
for a
then
very long
American
time.
burlesque
Oh,
came
really? That
from
long ago?
Victorian burlesque.
So not actually a political act. It was actually something that the society was all up for. Or no, it was a bit of a like obscure.
I think it was still a little bit naughty.
Yeah.
Right.
When it first kicked off, and they poked fun at, poked fun at political happenings.
Vaudeville, that's the word I was thinking of. Vaudeville.
There you go.
Yeah. So it was an extension of vaudeville, but with a bit of nudity to give it that little edge and get people to pay their money. And then it sort of had a revival, a couple of decades ago. Like it was still there in the background,
Got popular again.
Yeah, and then you have artists like Dita Von Teese, who is internationally famous, who was actually in New Zealand a couple of years ago. Yeah,
So you can say now, so is she coming tonight?
I don't think the theatre is big enough, or the budget, to be honest. But she's very classical style, a lot of posing, a lot of slow unveiling, not a lot of beautiful props.
Yeah.
And she surrounds herself with some amazing dancers. But a lot of the New Zealand scene tends to more the neo, the neo traditional, the more expressive, more storytelling. I think it's more the Kiwi way of thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
As especially to get a laugh, to get a joke, to make people feel good.
That would probably be better for the layman, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's sort of like a niche market there, the OG style.
Yeah, it's
From a viewer
more-
perspective, I mean, or
Myself personally, I definitely like the neo burlesque more.
I can appreciate the.
I'm just guessing.
The actual physicality. It's like ballet. There's a physicality, but it is made to look effortless. And so I can appreciate that. Myself, I do not tend down that line.
We like the comedy and
So there will be plenty of comedy tonight.
Fantastic.
Plenty of
Yes.
comedy.
Can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Do you get a lot of women, like wives, wanting to spice it up, like the relationship or something, and coming to learn? Is it a common thing, like women wanting to bring something for the relationship?
we tend to have a lot of couples in the audience, or groups of women. It's not very common that you'll find a bunch of
That's the other.
unaccompanied men there. It's,
That is the other difference between burlesque and club stripping is that our audience is predominantly female.
Right.
Because they see it as a female empowerment.
Yeah.
To classes, sometimes maybe you will get the wife who wants to learn a little bit to feel more confident with her body,
yeah.
to be able to seduce her husband. She want to learn techniques. But as far as audience goes, it's often a group of girls who can go, relax.
Yeah,
They can not be judged. They can have a laugh. It can be a little naughty.
Would you give it a go, Brett? You and Ange?
Burlesque.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, the what?
Yeah.
What are we giving a go? The
to learn.
like to go to a class.
Get some dance moves and learn.
I'm terrible at dancing. Why not? If she wanted to do it,
There you go. We got it.
I do what I'm told. You know.
Nothing like being put on the spot.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know, right? I would never thought of it. Oh, if she wanted to, I'd go do it. Yeah, for sure.
You might be in luck tonight. We have a burlesque off competition that
Oh,
happens
really?
in the shows where we invite audience members up to show us some of their moves.
Oh well, I just said I'm terrible at dancing though.
See, for us that is better.
The comedy show, that's what you guys are after. Yeah. Well,
Although we have had situations where some audience members do get a little bit carried away and start taking off all their clothes.
Ooh.
Yep, we've had pants off, tops off. It gets quite wild sometimes.
Okay.
Usually depending on how much of the social lubricant has been involved.
Any other funny stories or moments that you were like, oh, okay, now we're up to something here?
Rock and roll circus, red G-string.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
We started well. Okay.
We were doing a show in Auckland. I'm not sure how many years ago now. 5, maybe?
5 or 6, yeah.
Anyway, we did a best dress competition, and one of our lovely audience members, he was a beautifully dressed man in a suit, and he came up on stage, and we get each of the contestants to step forward, so the crowd claps, and we figure out who's going to win the prize, and he dropped his pants. And he had on a very, very teeny tiny bright red sparkly G-string.
Under
And the
his
crowd
suit.
went wild, yeah,
Okay.
under his suit.
Was it a good moment, Sapphira? Was it something to remember or something to erase?
I was not present for the show. I think it was just before I started working with Rock and Roll
I think
Circus.
so, yeah.
But I have heard it was very momentous.
Yes. I was backstage and one of the other girls came racing out and went, "You need to come out. There's a guy on stage in a red G-string." And I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And lots of people thought he was actually an audience plant. But we had no idea who he was. He just turned up for the show and added his own little surprise.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So maybe we should come up with a surprise.
So
dress.
we
I
encourage
don't own a
that.
G-string.
I can
It
lend
doesn't
you
have
one.
to be red.
Or a suit.
They already they're
I do
already
have a
helping
suit,
as it
actually. Got the
is.
one I got
Oh.
married in, you know, so I don't know if I'll fit that anymore, though.
Fantastic. What other styles of performing and dancing are you into? Like, because you told me you started as a ballet, is that right? And then you were
No, ballet.
belly.
Belly.
Sorry,
Belly.
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Not ballet,
Belly.
belly. Yeah.
Belly.
Are there any other styles that go well with the burlesque, like the?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our performers have done all different types of dance styles. So from like jazz, contemporary. Some of us have done no particular dance training.
But have theatre
but yeah.
backgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah, so it depends. Yeah, I guess you don't really have to have anything. Just a willingness to learn and to not be afraid of running around on stage and having some
have fun and be comfortable with your body. I've noticed since I started burlesque that I've become far more comfortable with who I am, and I become more and more and more like my personas than I am in real life. It becomes a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we want people to be more comfortable with their bodies, with who they are. But then when you do something like that, people kind of like, oh, what is this all about? You know, like, whoa, it's a bit edgy. So
My
it kind of clashes.
70-year-old mother comes to my shows. Her and her friend are two of our biggest supporters. They come to all our shows.
Yes.
And drag people along.
Yeah.
So you were telling me that you've traveled, you've done some performances around the world. Have you done the same? Have you been overseas performing?
Yeah, I performed in New York 8 years ago, and then I became a mum, so the travelling overseas got put on hold.
Right.
But yeah, New York was pretty cool.
Is there any major differences between the crowds overseas and New Zealand? Can you feel any major difference there?
I'm sure we're way more respectful over here, right?
Oh man, you're saying, I don't know.
I think people all over the world enjoy a good laugh.
Definitely.
Yeah.
They enjoy having fun. They enjoy seeing the spectacle. They love the colour and the sparkle and the humour and you know the things you hear is, oh, you are so brave. I couldn't do that. I think audiences are very similar wherever I've performed, at least. Especially while I was in Prague, I met performers from all over the world. I was so excited. I was invited to perform in the States and Austria and Switzerland and Italy, and I was thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go home and save lots of money. And then COVID came, and that was that. So it's been kind of hard because they were closed down, we were open. We were closed down, they were open. So it's had an impact on the industry all over the world because any arts industry, any entertainment industry, gig workers all over the world have been impacted by by the smaller crowds, by the lockdowns, by not being able to have venues open. So it's been struggling. It's been a struggle, but we want to do it so much.
Yeah.
We so much want to
yes.
do it. It's
Yeah.
so much fun for us.
I just don't want you to miss out on your tech rehearsal. What's the time, Papa,
yes.
please? 3:30. Can we go do a little bit more, or just one more question? Can I
Yeah,
go
one more.
squeeze one more in? You said you became a mother, and then things changed a little bit. Did you feel a change also on the way that you were performing, on the way that you were dealing with things, like, or now it was just like a
No,
continuation
I
of?
actually did a act when I was 8 months pregnant. A comedy act, of course. That's how I like to do things, with a bit of laughter. But becoming a mum, the only thing that really changed for me was that, you know, I wasn't available to do shows quite so much anymore and travel. But yeah, my views on burlesque and my involvement didn't change too much. Like, I sort of tapered off on shows a bit and moved into teaching, which worked better with mum life. So
I think most of our performers are parents.
Fantastic.
For myself, I have 3 children, and the biggest influence I see for that is they'll listen to a song and go, "Mum, you could do an act to this." My poor children have been dragged into doing cameras and lighting and sound.
Fantastic.
And, you know, when I'm rehearsing at home and they're filming me, so they're kind of used to Mummy having her tits out, but then they're a little bit older now. Yeah.
Free the tits. Yeah, free the tits. That's so cool. Thank you so much.
thanks for having us.
Oh, what a pleasure. Next time we'll make a longer, a bigger one, because you like it big, right? So we'll
Next
make
time, pay us more money, we come stay longer.
We'll do that for sure, for sure. For the event planners in town, there you go.
Yeah, Rock and Roll Circus. We're on
Rock and Roll.
Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I
So
was going to ask that. Where can we
find it?
Yeah.
Please.
Yes, so if you are on Facebook, it's just Rock and Roll Circus 2012. So we're in our 10th year this year.
And Instagram.
And Instagram.
Yep.
So those are the main ones. But yeah, a lot of our content, like, and especially if you're wanting to book shows or find out more, the Facebook page is definitely your first point of contact to go in. There's heaps of photos, and you can learn all about the weird and wonderful things that we do.
So I could book a show, like if I owned a venue or whatever, I could
Absolutely.
just ring you up and
We've done a wedding.
Yeah, we've done weddings, private shows, public shows, you name it, we can do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's good to know. Papa, are we good? Happy? Guys, thank you so much. Thanks so much for staying with us. It's a pleasure to have you here.
It's been wonderful to be had.
Thank you. And we're looking forward to tonight.
Yes, we can't wait.
Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
Good times. Thanks, Brett.
Oh, you're welcome. I have to shave my beard off so you guys don't recognise me. I feel like I'm going to get picked on.
Will we know him without the man bush? I think we will.
Thank you very much, ladies.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank
much,
you.
Leo and Brett.